This is for Greystar Management and Greystar Management only. I just got my lease renewal and you had the nerve to raise my rent almost $500. I've had this apartment for less than a year and look what I've done to it. I am a good tenant. I pay my rent on time. I swear all management companies are the same. Like, how is this even legal? I return lost heirlooms to families, and I can safely say if I ever find an heirloom belonging to someone who works at Greystar, I will not return that item out of spite. I know that's not much of a threat, but that's all I got. I guess it's time to start searching for a new apartment.
Hello guys, welcome back to Inside Republic. On today's video, we are talking about rental renewals. Well, rental renewals can become a nightmare when miscommunication, unexpected rent hikes, or last-minute changes disrupt plans for both the tenants and landlords. Kindly like and share this video, subscribe and follow for videos like this. And to show us some extra love, you can send us some super thanks. We'll truly appreciate that. Now let's watch the following video clips.
So I just got denied for an apartment. I have to move out of my beautiful, big ass, 2-bedroom apartment with a foyer and a separate kitchen and windows in every room. We're not gonna talk about it. Just got denied for an apartment because with me and my friend who are gonna be moving in together, her credit score is not high enough for us to qualify together, but my income is not high enough for me to qualify on my own. Although I have a 740 credit score, I have savings, and I make 30 times the rent. But because I don't make 40 times the rent on my own, although we make more than 40 times the rent together, we don't qualify.
So my rent here in Chicago is going to go up 9% if I decide to renew my lease for the following 12 months. Currently, I have a lease that goes from June 1st to June 1st, and they already sent me the renewal lease, and I just have to decide by late March. So they sent it yesterday, and I didn't look through the whole contract because I didn't have time, and then I looked at the numbers today and I calculated them. Yeah, it was 9%, which is really high. I mean, not a lot of people are kind of making 9% more in their salary each year. I like this apartment. I like the location, but 9%, I'm going to have to just look at either Zillow or apartments.com just to see if there are any other better options.
It's rent renewal season, aka I just got a scary manila envelope letting me know that my rent went up $200. So I call my scary landlord to let them know I want to negotiate. And she's like, we don't do negotiation, price is final. And I was like, no, I'm negotiating. I did my market research, and the apartment across the hall you just listed is $150 less than what you're trying to charge me, a current tenant. And she was like, oh, but that faces a brick wall and it's not updated. And then I lied. And I was like, oh, they have my spare key. It looks pretty updated to me. And then she had the audacity to be like, you have a good view. Like, I legit face a brick wall. What view are you talking about? I'm very confused. And they told me tough luck and that my rent's being raised. So, haha, let's see what happens.
On my last video, everybody was saying how $100 for a rent increase after renewal is nothing, and how they've seen their rent go up by 200, 300, 500, all these crazy numbers. I'm here to tell you in Texas that is not supposed to be normal. If you're with a decent property, they usually only go up 3 to 5% every renewal, and the average property only charges $1,300 to $1,500 in rent for a 1-bedroom in Texas. So that means your lease renewal, it should only go up by $75 max. That's why I said this is prevalent in companies that have bad management. Bad management, you can expect a great rent increase. Now, a property that has really good management, you can see an increase between 1 to 3%. And this is something that you can ask the properties when you tour. After you're done touring and they sit you down and ask you, is there any more questions? Ask them how much the rent usually increases with renewal, and they'll tell you.
My apartment in Arlington, Virginia had the audacity to tell me that if I renewed this lease for 3 months, it would be $10,300 a month. If you don't believe me, here's proof. $10,300 for a 3-month lease to live in Arlington, Virginia. So let me show you around. Tell me if you think it's worth it. Okay, let's start from the beginning. First bathroom. This is the cat's bathroom. I don't use this one. The den, which is a movie room. Oh, there's one of the cats. Walk into the kitchen. Bedroom. I just sold a bunch of stuff. Bathroom. Closet. It's really not big. This closet is like only enough for one person. Living room. It gets a good amount of sunlight at this hour, but if it's not this hour, it's pretty dark. Here it is from this view. I just did all of that today. It's a pretty big balcony. And my egg chair. And this is the view. Also, it's not very peaceful because you have to listen to that AC all night and all day, like on the balcony. But yeah, do you think that's worth $10,300 a month to live in Arlington, Virginia? I don't.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to share my experience with Main Street Renewal. I've been renting from them now for 5 years, and I've never had any issues until recently. I have had some moments in the past where I was a day late paying my rent, and I accepted it and received a late fee. I would pay on that late fee, pay it off in the next couple of months. But at the beginning of this year, I received a letter stating that I had 10 days to vacate or face eviction. That is when I called to speak with a representative, but every time you call to talk to customer service, it's a foreigner, somebody that doesn't speak very well English and doesn't understand exactly what you're saying. At that time, I think my rent was it was $300 and something in late fees, which I was paying on. But I received a letter in the mail stating that I was late on my rent and that I was facing eviction, but I wasn't late on my rent. I just had some late fees that were on my account. That month when I paid my rent, I paid an extra $100 towards my rent, towards the late fee, and still was hit with a $100 late fee. I really don't know what to do. But every month this year, I have been hit with a late fee for not paying late fees. I always pay my full rent plus an extra $100 to get down those late fees, but they keep tacking on a $100 late fee. I don't understand how this is legal. And now when I went online to pay my rent, there's a note that pops up and says they will not accept my rent unless everything is paid. I will be glad to pay that if the charges are legitimate, but I don't feel where that's legal to charge me a $100 late fee, even though I've paid my full rent on time, plus I've paid an extra $100 to pay down my late fees that I had accrued on my account.
Facing a rental increase today feels like living a nightmare. Apartments jumping from $500 overnight. Landlords and property managers shutting down any hope of negotiation, and renters trapped with low credit scores that bar them from moving elsewhere. In places like New York City, tenants are expected to earn 40 times the rent, while actual salaries haven't kept pace with the 9% or more hikes. Landlords are issuing ultimatums: accept the new price or get out, with no wiggle room. And a $10,300 per month apartment in Virginia sounds absurd, yet it's reality for some. One late payment in a year can get you notice to vacate. And to make it worse, There are cases where renters get slapped with late fees for unpaid late fees, racking up an extra $100 each time on top of an already brutal $300 charge. The system feels rigged, ruthless, and increasingly unaffordable. That's it for now, guys. Kindly like and comment down below. Have you done your rental renewals already, and how was the experience? Until next time, take care.